As one of the most successful investors in history, Warren Buffett's moves are closely watched by markets around the world. A recent report suggests that Berkshire Hathaway's potential buyback target could be revealed soon. The catalyst for this potential move is Berkshire's $126 billion cash hoard, which has grown significantly over the past few years. With a net worth of over $500 billion, Buffett has plenty of firepower to make strategic acquisitions or repurchase shares if he chooses to do so. Data from S&P Global Market Intelligence shows that Berkshire's cash position has increased by 40% since 2019. In terms of potential scenarios, analysts have suggested that Buffett could use some or all of this cash for a major acquisition or series of smaller deals. However, others believe that Buffett might opt to return capital to shareholders through buybacks. MarketWatch reports that Berkshire's buyback authorization has been in place since 2012 and remains unused. According to a note from Goldman Sachs, the company's cash hoard is roughly equivalent to 20% of its market capitalization, which could indicate a potential for significant share repurchases if Buffett chooses to do so. Additionally, Berkshire's operating earnings have increased by over 15% year over year, providing a solid foundation for future investments or buybacks. Some experts also point out that the company's recent quarterly earnings report showed a $14 billion increase in cash on hand, which could indicate an intention to deploy this capital soon. Furthermore, Buffett has historically shown a preference for buying back shares when prices are low or during periods of market volatility. However, risks and uncertainties remain, including potential regulatory hurdles, competition from other investors, and the possibility that Buffett might choose to use his cash for alternative purposes, such as investing in new businesses or financing expansion. Furthermore, there is always a risk that market conditions could change quickly, affecting Berkshire's ability or willingness to execute on any buyback plan. Tactically, traders may want to consider monitoring levels around $230, 240 per share for potential support or resistance if Buffett does decide to implement a buyback strategy. Another possible scenario is to watch for a breakout above $250 as the stock could potentially rally in anticipation of a major announcement. According to data from FactSet, Berkshire shares have been trading at a relatively low price to book ratio compared to its historical averages, which could make it an attractive time for Buffett to repurchase shares. Additionally, the company's return on equity has increased by over 10% year over year, indicating strong profitability and potential for future growth. In terms of potential buyback targets, some analysts have suggested that Berkshire could aim to repurchase around 5 to 10% of its outstanding shares, which would equate to a significant amount of capital deployment. However, these estimates are purely speculative and should be taken with caution. One line takeaway: Berkshire Hathaway's massive cash hoard and unused buyback authorization make it increasingly likely that Warren Buffett will use some or all of this capital soon, whether through acquisitions or repurchases. It's worth noting that the timing and extent of any potential buyback plan are impossible to predict with certainty. However, given the company's strong financial position and Buffett's history of strategic decision making, investors should be prepared for a potential announcement in the near future. As traders, it may be wise to keep an eye on Berkshire's stock price movements and adjust investment strategies accordingly. A buyback plan could lead to increased demand and higher prices, making it an attractive time to invest in the company. Conversely, if Buffett chooses to use his cash for alternative purposes, the stock price could experience volatility. Ultimately, only Warren Buffett knows what he will do with Berkshire's massive cash hoard. However, given the company's strong financials and Buffett's track record of strategic decision making, investors should be prepared for a potential announcement in the near future.